Happy spring, everyone, and welcome to the first in our School Readiness Series brought to you by JungleVites. There's a great gift from them, but you have to participate in the comments in order to stand a chance to win. So they're giving away this gift of 1,500 Rand, which includes a whole lot of JungleVites products, and also a 500 Rand take-a-lot voucher that's included in that. So that's an awesome prize. So say hi in the comments, talk to us about screen time. We have conscious parents practitioner and life coach Laura Moavera here today to talk about screen time sense. And what I thought was so interesting, when our magazines came into existence, screens were not an issue. And when JungleVites came into existence, screens were not an issue. So I was just thinking, we're two old brands and we're still here doing our thing, but some things have changed. And screens, even when my kids were small, weren't an issue. But JungleVites is the same. And we're going into our second generation of JungleVites mommies. The mommies now who took it as little babies are now having babies and, when their kids are old enough, giving it to them. So JungleVites is scientifically formulated to make sure that your children get the vitamins and the minerals they need. They're little animal shaped, so they go down like a treat. And kids need more nutrition in proportion with to their bodies than adults do. So JungleVites, thank you for sponsoring this. And now we're going to go over to Laura and find out, screen time sense. It's a battle.
Absolutely, a huge battle. And if I could first of all say that with screen time, it's become more screen-based play as opposed to play-based. And I think children are naturally curious about the world around them and playing and exploring and creating. And what's happening now is the screens have taken over. They've literally stolen our children's attention. And Dr. Alman, he's a neuroscientist, he has a lot of work with the brain. He talks about how they've stolen our attention. And parents, they bought into this whole screen time sense thing. And, in order for our children to really move away from the screen and go back into play, parents need to do the same because children model their parents' behavior.
Yeah.
And times are hard and parents are busy, but it's so important that our children watch the parent knows, when do I stop? When do I put the phone down? Where's my time to actually put things down and say, right, it's now time to interact, to engage with my child.
Yeah. So for the age group, the school reading, like the 3 to 5 year olds, like what's recommended, like how much screen time? And does that include like what screens, like TV?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, screens are screens.
Yeah.
There's plastic devices that our children are watching, and there's absolutely no response. Where children need the interaction, they need the response. So we're looking at iPads.
Yeah.
We're looking at tablets, we're looking at computers and television as well. And generally, between the ages of 0 to 3, we talk about, unfortunately, no screen time.
Yeah.
That's
no, okay.
Yes,
I just want to
absolutely
no screen time.
No screen time.
Yeah.
And because the concentration span is so little.
Yeah.
You get a 4 to 6 minute concentration span for a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
And so it obviously increases. And unfortunately, again, these content designers design screens to keep your children hooked.
Yeah.
They want them to be completely addicted to the screen because it becomes an absolute addiction.
Yeah.
And we know what's happening with our teenagers at the moment. And an incredible psychologist, his name is Dr. Jonathan Hyde, has just written a book called The Anxious Generation. It's such an incredible book because he talks about how what screens are doing to our children, causing the addiction and the anxiety around screens.
Yeah.
They get locked in and they just can't remove themselves.
Yeah.
And I can't say this technology, what they're doing around it is making the kids more addicted because the child isn't concentrating for longer and they move away from the screen. They think, okay, how can I change that? What can I do? Okay, let's change the color. Let's change the sound. Let's give more music to make it more catchy, to keep children there listening. And it's completely passive.
Yeah.
Kids are not getting outdoors anymore.
Yeah.
Helen, they're really not.
Yeah. So for 3 to 5 year olds, because I know reality is screens can be a great babysitter. So if you need to get dinner going, and it's the easiest thing to plonk your child down with a screen because then you can get dinner going. And so if you want to use that in a way, a little bit of screen time, like how much for 3 to 5 year olds is too much?
Yeah. I would say, pushing it to possibly 15 to 20 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
If their concentration span is between 4 to 6 minutes, 4 to 7 minutes, push it to 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It is an incredible babysitting tool.
Yeah.
I mean, as you said, you're making dinner, the child's having a tantrum, you hand them the iPad.
Yeah.
Or perhaps putting it on the television. Or even when you're grocery shopping, the child has a bit of a meltdown. What do? They're in the trolley, you hand your phone, so you can get through things quickly.
Yeah.
And parents are losing that connection with their children. Children don't want to see a screen. They're not getting responses from it. They want to see mommy's face. They want to see daddy's face, granny's face. We need that interconnectedness.
Yeah.
And we're losing it because of our screens.
Yeah. If you do then about, say, 20 minutes a day of screen time, is there, do you think, like watching a TV program is better than something playing on a screen, or which one is better, like a game or TV? Or think
yes. No, definitely television.
Okay.
And if possible, what we always suggest is the co-viewing. Where parents and children are absolutely together, and parents can then talk about it afterwards. So you're also building the language skill, you're building the communication skill, because women are working on becoming conscious parents.
Yeah.
And I invite the parents to just notice what's happening at the moment, to go out and do research, read books. The first book they can start reading is really The Anxious Generation. And, while they're still small, we can make changes, we can set boundaries, we can set limits. And when the child knows why, the why behind they can't be longer on the screen, they understand. Children are clever, they know.
Yeah.
And they may have a tantrum, they may have a meltdown, but you know what? It's up to the parents to stand firm, to lean in, to create the space, to validate the feelings, because mom said time's up now, and time's up.
Yeah. My mom, obviously being older, best thing my mom ever did, 3 little kids around the table having breakfast or any meal, she would read to us. So we still had the same oval table, and we each had our spot, my mom at the head of it, and my mom would read to us while we ate every meal. I guess to stop fights and arguments or whatever. So especially breakfast time in the mornings, everyone's a bit cranky and you're having your cereal or whatever. Just sit and read a book to your children. And to this day, reading is pretty like the best thing in my life. And it's because of what my mom did. So at least maybe try and make mornings completely screen-free.
So we have those screen-free zones.
Yes.
So you have at dinner time, there's no screens.
Yeah.
Bedtime, no screens. And then before breakfast, because also your child's cortisol levels are a little bit high in the morning. You don't want to elevate that.
Yeah.
And they're going to get to school, and they get a bit of separation anxiety. So you want to really make it beautiful. You want to make it an interactive experience for your child. And if your child's getting a little bit anxious, have a bit of a talk with them. We need to talk with our children. We need to connect in that way. But parents are, it's hard because they're busy, they're stressed. But we need to step into our power as parents, and we need to start connecting better, because the screen's not going to connect for them. It's not going to do the work.
Yeah.
You as parents have to. It's a human connection that we need to keep going.
Yeah.
So we can avoid that anxious generation. Let's start now with that. Let's start now.
Nothing beats human connection.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Laura, thank you so much. Our time is up. I really enjoyed that. And I hope you feel inspired to cut down on screen time if it's an issue in your life, or let us know what tips and tricks you've got. If there's anything else that you're doing right with screen time. And thank you, JungleVites, for sponsoring this whole series. Our next talk is, I think, on Tuesday. I'll pop the poster for the next talk in the comments as well, so you don't miss out on that one. There's going to be, 5 or 6 of them altogether coming up. Thank you, JungleVites, and thank you, Laura.
Thank you for having me. It's been very special being here.